Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Bloom, and today I want to talk about Cyrene, which is a 5-star Remembrance character coming out in 3.7. I kind of want to break down her kit a little bit and see what team she goes in, and hopefully help you decide if you want to pull for her or skip her based on that. So let's talk about her kit a little bit. So for her basic attack, she does gain 1 recollection point and deals ice damage equal to 50% of her HP, and is only to one enemy target. Now, that being said, she does have one after she goes into her Memo Sprite that she does gain 3 recollection points and deals ice damage equal to 30% of Cyrene's max HP to one enemy, then also deals ice damage equal to 30% of Cyrene's max HP to all enemies. So for her E ability, her skill, she does gain 3 recollection points and deploys a zone. And when your team is in the zone, for each instance of damage dealt by an allied target, it will deal an additional 1 instance of true damage equal to 24% of the original damage. And if Cyrene is down, then obviously the zone will be destroyed. So her ultimate is really strong. So she summons her Memo Sprite, causes it to immediately gain 1 extra turn, and it activates all teammates' ultimates right away for the first time. Then she enters into Ripples of the Past Reverie state with basic attack enhanced to her regular attack, and can only use this basic attack, obviously. Increases Cyrenes and her Memo Sprite crit rate by 50% and deploys a zone effect from the skill with no active duration. Also, one thing to point out real quick that, whenever Cyrene uses her ultimate and she uses it on a Chrysos Heir, there will be a special effect or a special buff that will be given to whatever character you're using it. However, if they are not part of the Chrysos Heir, then whenever the target is used with Cyrene, their damage will be increased by 40% for 2 turns. And this also applies to Memo Sprites. Now for her 3 bonus abilities, so the first one is going to be called Child of Remembrance. Child of Remembrance, so when a teammate Memo Sprite is summoned, it will gain a future, like a stack. And future held by a Memo Sprite cannot be consumed. Basically, what future does is that whenever your Memo Sprite attacks, it will give 1 point of recollection towards Cyrene, so she's able to build her ultimate a little bit faster. Now for her second one, it's going to be Ripples Across Time, and whenever there is 1, 2, or 3 Chrysos Heirs or Remembrance characters in your team aside from Cyrene, she will start the battle with 2, 3, or 6 recollection points, which is really good in my opinion. And now for the third one, it's going to be Casualty in Trichotomy, and what this does is that whenever Cyrene's speed is 180 or higher, it will increase all of allies' damage dealt by 20%, and for each point of speed exceeding the 180, it will also increase Cyrene's and her Memo Sprite's rest spend by 2% all the way to 60. Now, I definitely want to talk about her Eidolons, especially the E2, which is something that a lot of people have been pretty upset about. And in all honesty, I've seen a lot of memes and things about her that people have been talking about it. But let's go and start with the first Eidolon. So, whenever Cyrene triggers the Memo Sprite skill, and while using her Minuet of Bloom, it seems that she gains 6 recollection points, and it will increase the number of bounds for this attack by 12. Now, for the second one, when entering combat, she will additionally gain 12 recollection points for each different ally character that gains the Memo Sprite scale buff from her Memo Sprite. And the damage multiplier of the true damage dealt by allied targets via the skill will increase by 6 all the way up to 24%. So her E2 is a little bit controversial just because, when you have her E0 S0, she doesn't, for example, get a lot of ways to get recollection points. And one of the major talking points that people have been saying is that, for example, if you put her on a team that's not like Remembrance team or Chrysos Heirs, then she won't really have ways of getting recollection points, which is going to take her ultimate even longer to come through. But I understand that is something that, I don't know, it doesn't feel right that a character, her potential, like her strongest potential, is a little bit locked behind an Eidolon. Well, 2 Eidolons, I guess you could say. And one of the things that people also need to understand is that, people want to be able to use Cyrene in different teams and not just be locked behind like Remembrance teams or also like a Chrysos Heirs. But her E2 basically fixes all of that. It just gives her like the ability to be used in so many different teams just because she's able to pop her ult really fast and not have to wait for like a cycle or 2 cycles for her to get her ultimate. But moving alongside with her other Eidolon, so when it comes to her third Eidolon, it was just going to be a +2 for her ultimate talent and Memo Sprite as well, +1. Now for the E4, it looks like each time after a Memo Sprite uses Minuet of Bloom, the bounce damage multiplier of the trigger Memo Sprite skill will increase by 6% in the current battle and can be stacked up to 24%. Eidolon 5 is going to be +2 of your skill, your basic attack, and a +1 of Memo Sprite talent. Now, to simplify a little bit of her E6, it looks like that whenever she pops her ultimate, it will advance your team by 100%. Now, whenever she uses her ability, and it's also in her Minuet of Bloom, it will reduce all targets defense by 20%. And then after that, the second time you use the ultimate, and more than that, it will just advance your team by 24% instead of 100% like the first time that she did. Now comes one of the most important things that a lot of people are looking to, whether if you're going to skip her or pull her. So personally myself, I will be summoning for her. I will also be going for her E6S1. However, for a lot of people who might have like a trivia on their team, you know, it's becoming a little bit difficult for people to know if they want to pull for Cyrene or to skip her. I want to say that if you're someone who genuinely likes the character and thinks she's a interesting or very cool character, then you should pull for her. And if you already have trivia like E1 trivia or E2 or an S1, I still think that Cyrenes is a pretty good character, just because like if you have, for example, the Remembrance team, you will be able to use Cyrene in that team, and then you will be able to take out Trivy and use her somewhere else. I will say that Trivy is a little bit more universal when it comes to using her in teams compared to Cyrene. And then that way you will have an extra like support character to be able to assist any other team that you have in mind, or there's sometimes you just want to have in general. Now, if you are going for like a E2 Cyrene or E2S1, then obviously that's a no-brainer. She is an insane character, really good in my opinion. And I'm hoping that she doesn't, you know, get power creep, knowing that we're about to go into a new 4.0 soon. And on top of that, we also have the new Delilah, I believe, Constance coming out, which she's also a very, very hot character for me too. Ever since I saw her back in Penacony, I thought she was a really cool character. So I'm hoping that a lot of people are speculating things about her. I'm hoping that she's a very strong DPS, but I don't know. I'm hoping that she truly is an amazing character for someone to pull. But yeah, guys, I hope that, you know, if you do go ahead and summon for Cyrene, I wish you best of luck. I wish you guys win all of your 50-50s. And if you're skipping her, then please let me know who you're saving for, because, you know, and for you to start